Top of the morning to you, YouTube. Well, I am here. I'm standing on the old 34 bridge, which is now closed. The new 34 bridge above me is open to traffic. I actually had to get special permission to park here because I am on the track of a sea monster. I am trying to find more of that big mosasaur whose bones I had a couple episodes back. Haven't had any more big rises, but we've had like a 4-foot rise and a 7-foot rise and another 4-foot rise, and I'm hoping maybe that's uncovered a few more of his bones. So I'm going to do what I did last time. I'm going to fast hike down, slow walk back to the bridge, and see what I can find of him. Last time I was down here, I found 6 associated pieces of bones from this giant creature. I'm hoping to find more. He's a big boy, and I'd really like to get him pinpointed so that he can be excavated before the reservoir goes in, because where I'm standing, all the riverbed down there and up to within about 6 feet of the top of that bridge is all going to be underwater in 2 years. So I've got a time clock is ticking for me to find this big boy and notify the Perot Museum so I can be dug out. So I'll be checking in as we find things. Okay, made it safely down into the river. Whew, I tell you what, this heat is no joke. I mean, I'm here at 6, dropped into the river about 6:30 in the morning. I've got some cloud cover. I've got a little bit of a breeze that helps, but well, once the clouds burn off about between 11 and 1 o'clock, it is like someone turned a furnace on. So I'm going to try and get most of my searching done before then and be on the way out when it gets really hot. Getting close to the area. I'm not really detail hunting like I normally do. I'm not rowing it out till I get further down, but I am getting closer to the area where I started finding fossils of this big guy back in the spring. You know, I found one jumbo vertebrae with all the processes still attached. I brought Susan down here and she got 2 vertebrae that were still conjoined, and my vertebrae fit onto it, so I gave it to her to take north. And then this spring, one of the moms on the kids trip found a huge tooth on the same gravel bar. And then last time down here, I found 6 pieces of bone from him. So he's washing out. I've just got to figure out where. Okay, here, the first piece of bone of the day. This is a rib. I don't know if you can see the end very clearly. Definitely bone. Heavily pyritized. I know one of the other pieces I found, one of the ribs had pyrite on it, which is not good because pyrite will absolutely destroy fossil bone. What's significant, this is the furthest upstream, the closest to the bridge I found any pieces. Most of my other first upstream pieces were on that big gravel bar there. So that means he's most likely between here and the bridge. Just got to figure out where. I'm going to backtrack though, go further downstream, look for more float pieces. But I know now from here to the bridge is where he is. Of course, just because we're looking for big bone doesn't mean we don't pick up the little stuff. Look, there's a nice segment of baculite and a nice snail side by side. Okay, here's another piece of associated bone. I must have walked over this one last time, but that is a chunky piece of rib. That is quite large, and I don't doubt that it belongs to the same critter. Quite a bit ways further down. I probably walked over this one last time I was here because it was pretty high and dry and the water hadn't come up that much, but it's another piece of the puzzle. Here's another rib piece. You know, it's interesting. We found a tooth. We found a thoracic vertebrae. We found multiple ribs. We found bits and pieces from one end of this animal to the other, which tells me wherever it is that he's coming out, he's a fairly complete specimen. I need to find where that is, though. Okay, here's another rib piece. little bit smaller than the others, but I do believe it's the same critter. Okay, here's a big old chunk of bone. Wow. That is a huge rib head. Pyritized though. Dang, I hope the skull's not pyritized. Still, that's a nice piece. Okay, this one is not from Big Boy, I don't think, unless he's washed way further down in the tail than I thought. I think that's a smaller specimen. This is a nice vertebrae. Well, I didn't do what I said I was going to do, which was fast walk all the way down and then slow hunt back. But I have gotten about as far down as I came last time, and I haven't found any more pieces of the big guy. Did just pick up a nice piece of fish bone. I'm going to slow hunt my way back and really focus between where I picked up that very first rib piece today and the bridge, because he's coming out a little further upstream than I thought he was. He could be right under that bridge. So I'm just going to hunt real good close to the bridge, see if I can find him, because, man, we're finding pieces from all ends of him. He must be exposed. Anyway, just a second, I'll show you the piece I found just now. This is a nice sized piece of bone, but the texture on it leads me to think fish rather than reptile. So that's probably part of a big Xiphactinus or Pachyrhizotus or something like that. All right, now back to the bridge and see what else I can find. Well, as you can see, I got rained off the river, but I wanted to take one last view. 2 years, this will all be under a brand new lake. I've made a lot of great finds, a lot of great friends, and a lot of great memories on this river. Sure am gonna hate to see it go. And I hate that it rained and kept me from pinpointing my stupid mosasaur today, but I'll be back. Okay, we're back at the house where it hasn't rained a drop. These are the 5 pieces I got today that I'm pretty sure are associated with my big guy. And boy, you can really see, especially on this one, that bone is just eaten up with pyrite. Some of it's cleaner, like that piece. This one a little bit cleaner, and then some of it's just consumed. Several pieces of bone. This one could be from the big guy. I'm just not entirely sure what it is. Got to clean it up. This vertebrae, nice piece of fish bone. That piece I think is turtle. 3 artifacts. That little side notch point would be interesting. I think it's like Big Sandy or Dalton culture. One nice gastropod, and of course the obligatory cow/bison tooth. So that was the day's haul, and I'm gonna go home and go inside and dry off. Boy, I got soaked to the skin in that downpour. All right.